What's going on, YouTube? I want to talk about 401ks, everyone's favorite topic, right? I ran across an article yesterday on MSN.com which showed the average statistics of people's 401k information based out of Fidelity, which I believe is the largest 401k holding company. So it's very concerning, and I don't know, let me know what you guys think. I'll just go through it right now. So they have it by age bracket. So from the ages of 20 to 29, they're saying the average 401k balance is $11,500. I mean, I'll just say maybe of all of them, this is the least concerning, only because people are typically getting jobs, full-time jobs, in their mid to late 20s, because they're going to school for so damn long that, you know, by the time they actually can land a full-time job and sign up for the 401k, they're already, you know, in the middle of that bracket. So that is not as concerning, that bracket. Ages 30 to 39, which is where I fall, the average is $42,700. This is a little more concerning because it's just telling me that not enough people are signing up for a 401k. And if they are signing up for a 401k, they are not contributing, you know, enough to make a big enough impact. Or they're not investing it properly. So that can go the same for the other brackets that are coming up. Ages 40 to 49, $103,500. That's not going to get you very far. Ages 50 to 59, $174,200. And ages 60 to 69, $192,800. 60 to 69 is god awful. $192,000 to live off the rest of your life. Assuming you're getting Social Security and hopefully you have some type of other retirement plan, but $192,000 will not last you long. That's some people's 2 years of income. So this is the people that are around this age are the people that I would think also have pensions, but still, it's been quite some time since the majority of companies have eliminated their pension plans. So I would think they would have ample time to have signed up for an alternative, which would be the 401k. Because most companies that had a pension and got rid of it, they decided to use, you know, the 401k option, which I'm sure they would have matching, company matching. So we'll move on to the next statistic per age bracket. Ages 20 to 29, the average contribution percentage is 6.8%. Not bad, considering most companies match anywhere from 3 to 5, maybe 6%. That's pretty good. That means people in their 20s are at least putting in what the company is matching. So again, I think the 20s stats are pretty good. Could be better, obviously, but nobody knows what the hell they're doing. That's half the problem. Ages 30 to 39, 7.6%. To me, this is a concern because it only jumped up 0.8%. So 10 years later, if you're only increasing the amount that you're contributing to your 401k by 0.8%, that is not good, because you should be increasing your contribution at least half. I'll say at least half of what your annual raises are. I'm not going to say just put in your entire raise, because obviously inflation sucks and everything is unaffordable, so it's unreasonable to say that. But if you are making already a handsome salary, then you can do that. And it's wise to do that if you can afford it, but most people can't. But anyway, moving on. Next bracket, 40 to 49. They put in 8.4%. Again, crappy jump. They got to get on it. You figure the older you are, the wiser. Obviously not. 50 to 59, 10%. 10%'s good. Maybe in your 30s though. And then 60 to 69, 11.1%. I mean, come on, 60s? Your bills would, I would hope, be minimal in your 60s. So your contribution should be at an all-time high. You should be maxing out your 401ks. But on the flip side, the 401ks have a max that you can put in. So people in their 60s may be making so much money that they can only put in 11% to max out, their annual contribution. So they don't go into detail speaking of that, but to be fair, that could be possible. What they're saying, I guess, you should have by age is, at age 30, you should have the equivalent of your starting salary. 35, 2 times. 40, 3 times. 45, 4 times. You get the point. And they go all the way down to 67, which is when they think people are retiring. Fuck that, I ain't working that late. But it says 67, 10 times your salary. So I guess if you want to retire earlier than that, you need to have maybe 12 times or more. Just think more than 10 times your salary you need to have in your 401k by the time that you retire. So if you retire making $100,000 a year, you need to have at least $1 million. And I would think if you're retiring in your 50s, you would need at least 15 times, meaning $1.5 million. Again, you should not only have your 401k, you should have other things like stocks, like dividends. You should have another alternative plan, another source of passive income that you're making. If not, you're going to have to work a part-time job, which won't necessarily be terrible, considering most people are used to working 40 hours to 50 hours to fucking 60 hours a week, sitting on their asses in a cube. So when you finally get to retire and do a part-time job that you don't necessarily need, it won't be as bad. But yeah, those are the statistics and those are the expectations. My thoughts in general. Again, I think I had made a video on 401ks, but if your company offers a 401k, sign up for the 401k. If your company matches their 401k, max out the 401k. Every year you're with the company, try to raise your 401k by at least 1%. At least. If you get promoted and say you get 5 to 10% increase, I mean, come on, just do 3-4%. Just keep jumping it up as much as you can. Everyone says max out your 401k contribution, meaning to the annual allowed max, which I think is like $18,000, which is hard for people just starting out. I get it, but maybe definitely by your 40s, I think you need to be maxing out your 401k. This means putting as much in as you can, but you have to spread it throughout the year, because if you hit the max contribution, your 401k will stop and you will not get the max every check. So if you have, say, a 5% max, you will not, if you max out in 10 months, you're not going to get the 5% for the remaining 2 months, for those paychecks. spread it out evenly throughout the year. Hopefully that makes sense to everyone. And again, the salary that you would need to make to max out would need to be, larger than the norm. So hopefully you can get to that one day, and probably in your 40s. Another topic on 401ks: not only sign up, not only take advantage of the company matching, not only put in more than that every single goddamn year, but look at your investments. What the hell are you putting your money into? Just because you're putting in a 401k, that's not the end of it. It's not. If it's in a money market and you're 30 years old, you ain't earning shit. You need to be aggressive at that age because you can afford a lot of risk. So if you can afford a lot of risk, you can get a lot of reward. So why the hell not? I mean, give me a reason not to. The money market, can average, say, 2 to 3% in the 401k, if you're lucky. And the 401k can be 8 to 10%. So what would you rather? Plus, the stocks. The money market or stocks, that's what I meant. Choosing index funds, which are made up of aggressive stocks that have 8 to 10% annual growth. They also pay dividends, which get reinvested. More money, compounding interest. Boom, boom, boom. You start in your 20s, you just keep going. And I say look at it once a year, see how each index fund is, working out. Don't go crazy. You're not, it's not, you can't worry about that. Towards the end, when you're nearing retirement, you need to go crazy. You need to keep an eye. You need to manage the funds a lot more. But at least once a year, I think you need to look at the funds again, reallocate, because, maybe in your 20s, you want 90% stocks, 10% bonds. But maybe in your 30s, you want 85% stocks, 15% bonds. Oh my God, line of fucking traffic. So you need to revisit that every year. And that's not a lot to ask for. So considering that's your money, that's probably the most money that you have to your name in your 401k. So you would think that you would care about the money. Anyway, I wanted to make this video and kind of rant and just throw out the numbers so people have an idea, and see where everyone fits. If you are better than the average, great. If you're not, then I think it's time to revisit your 401k. And if you don't want to look into it, do the research yourself, then talk to someone, talk to a financial advisor, talk to your peers at work, just talk to your parents, get a better idea of what you're doing and why you don't have enough money, or what's your excuse. What you need to stop making excuses, but you need to, if you meet these averages or less, definitely talk to someone. If not, start looking into investing further and researching your 401k. But that's all I got for today. It finally stopped raining, so I can end this commute safely and maybe stop at Dunkin' Donuts. All right. Thank you for watching. Have a good weekend.